I, Smita, welcome you to the YouTube channel of Excellent Tutorials. Today, I am going to continue with the topic Chemical Reactions and Equations, which I have started in my previous class. In my previous class, I have already taught you about what are chemical reactions, what are various types of chemical reactions, including oxidation and reduction. So, I have already discussed about oxidation, which means addition of oxygen with any substance. So today, students, I am going to teach you about the effect of oxidation reactions in our everyday life. How oxidation reaction affects our daily life. So you might have observed some of the changes taking place in your surrounding. Your iron gates, if not painted, turning into brown flaky substance, silver turning black after sometimes, copper turning green after sometimes. So why these changes happens? You must be wondering that why these substances are changing their color. What happens with them? So children, these all substances undergo corrosion. So we'll see what corrosion is, how corrosion happens, and how can we prevent it. So what is corrosion? We will see. So it's a natural process. What is corrosion? It's a natural process which converts a refined metal into a more chemically stable form. Chemically stable form means if any metal like iron, silver, copper gets added up with oxygen, carbon dioxide or any other gas that is present in the atmosphere to form their compounds, then they are very much stable. So we say that they are more chemically stable form, such as its oxide, hydroxide or sulfide. So in which form they change? They change into their oxides, hydroxides or sulfide form. So students, it happens gradually. It does not happen at once. It takes a lot of time for any substance to undergo corrosion. So corrosion is a gradual process. It's a natural process. It's a type of oxidation and it is very unuseful because it leads to the destruction of the substances. It leads the things to degrade. It makes them lose all the metals like silver, copper, iron. It makes them lose their luster. It makes them lose their brightness, appearance. So corrosion is not good for us. For example, we can see the corrosion in silver. Silver reacts with sulfur in the air to form silver sulfide. So silver sulfide is a oxidized form. So Ag, that is symbol for silver, when reacts with sulfur, that is S, it forms silver sulfide, and that is why it changes into black color. Now again we will see copper. What does copper do? Copper reacts with the moist carbon dioxide to form copper carbonate. So here you can see what does copper do? It reacts with moist carbon dioxide to form copper carbonate, and that green coating on the surface of the copper is because of the formation of copper carbonate on it. This is also an example of oxidation, or you can say corrosion. Now iron. The third example is of iron metal. You must have seen many iron things in your surrounding, as I have mentioned, iron railings, bridges, iron gates. So they react with both air and moisture that is present in the atmosphere to form hydrated iron oxide, that is Fe plus O2 plus H2O. Fe stands for iron, O2 for oxygen and H2O for water. They react with each other to form Fe2O3 dot XH2O, means that it is hydrated iron oxide. It is also known as rust. So that brown flaky substance that develops as a coating on the surface of the iron is nothing but this rust. So we see how these articles have got degraded because of oxidation and corrosion. Now, in order to prevent that these like metals from getting degraded, we need to take some steps. So, why this corrosion is taking place? The corrosion is taking place because of the exposure of these metal surfaces to the environment. So we will have to find out a way so that the metal surfaces should not get directly exposed to the environment, so that it should not react with the gases that is present in the air. So we will have to make sure of it. So the first way of preventing corrosion is painting. How we are going to prevent corrosion? By painting. Painting is a way by which we can prevent corrosion, because when we apply a layer of paint on the surface of a metal, it becomes a barrier and it does not let the gases that are present in the atmosphere to come in direct contact with the metal surfaces, and thus it gets prevented from being corroded. Now, second way is oiling or greasing. Again, same theory works here. And when we put a layer of oil or when we put grease on the surface of the metal, it does not allow the metal to come in contact with the air or water, and because of that it remains uncorroded. Now the third way is galvanizing. So children, you know what is galvanization? Galvanization, it is a method of applying a layer of one inferior metal, like we can say applying a layer of zinc on the surface of iron. On iron, if we are applying a layer of zinc on the surface of iron, then iron, which is more likely to be corroded, will be protected from getting exposed to the atmosphere, and zinc is a bit less reactive in terms of corrosion. So galvanization also protect, and it is done through electroplating. So galvanizing is also one of the way through which we can prevent corrosion. By doing galvanization, we are applying a layer of inferior metal which is less reactive to the air on the surface of iron, which is more reactive to the atmosphere, and thus we are preventing it from getting corroded. Now the fourth way is electroplating, which I have been talking about. So electroplating is a electrical process. It's an electrochemical process in which electric current is needed to apply a layer of inferior metal on the surface of some metals which are likely to get corroded, so that we can prevent them from getting rusted. Like we can apply a layer of nickel on the surface of iron, so that iron should get protected from getting corroded. Now, one of the ways to protect corrosion can be also alloying. So students, what are alloys? Alloys are mixture of two or more than two metal or non-metal together, so that we can get a better quality of substance. So when we do alloying, then we can protect the metal from getting corroded. See, some of the metals get corroded whereas others do not. So we are going to check the characteristics of the metals, and accordingly we are going to mix them with each other. So we can get a better quality metal, we can get a better quality substance which is not likely to get corroded. So by doing alloying, we can also protect the metal from getting corroded. So these are the various ways through which we can prevent corrosion. Now let us student talk about another effect of oxidation reactions in our day-to-day life, and that is rancidity. So we'll talk in detail about what is rancidity and how we can prevent it. So you must have seen in your day-to-day life that when you eat some of the food material that contain fats and oil, after a long time, then it smells very bad and its crispiness also decreases. Have you wondered why it happens? What has happened to those food materials that it has lost its crispiness, that it has lost its characteristic odor. So we will see how. So those food material containing fats and oil have got oxidized, or better we can say they have become rancid. Because when the fats and the oil get oxidized, that is only known as rancidity. So I'll discuss about definition of rancidity in detail. So what actually rancidity is? It is a physiochemical process in which the natural properties of the fat leading to the development of unpleasant odor or taste or color, particularly on aging, after being exposed to atmospheric oxygen, light, moisture, microorganism and heat. So what are the factors that leads to rancidity? Atmospheric oxygen, light, moisture, microorganism and heat. When the fat containing substances are exposed to these factors, then they lose their natural property, they lose their natural characteristic, and they become changed. Their odor becomes changed, their property becomes changed, and we say that the substances have got rancid. So rancid substances are not good to eat, they are unhealthy. So in order to protect the substances from getting rancid, we need to take some steps. So students, we will see what are the steps. Again, one thing more, like I have said, that the fat and oil containing substances are exposed to the atmosphere, then only they are getting oxidized. So again we are going to have some way out so that we can protect it from getting exposed to the atmosphere or to the light or to the moisture. For that, first step that we should take is vacuum packaging. If we are vacuum packaging some substances that are likely to become rancid, then they can be protected from getting exposed to the atmospheric oxygen, to humidity and all. So we can save it from becoming rancid. Second way of preventing rancidity is to add some inert gas like nitrogen. That is why nitrogen is also known as an antioxidant. So when we fill nitrogen in the packets of food, especially in some snacks packet like chips, kurkure, you must have seen they seem so fluffy. Actually, nitrogen has been filled in those packets so that we can protect those food materials from getting rancid. So nitrogen acts as a antioxidant and it protects those materials that are packed inside those packets from becoming rancid, and it also replaces oxygen which was there. So once we are removing the oxygen and adding nitrogen to it, it becomes free from oxygen and other gases that are present in the atmosphere, and thus it has got protected from being rancid. Now, third way of preventing the substances from being rancid is refrigeration. Refrigeration also will reduce the moist reactions that will take place in rancidity. Now, fourth is packaging food protected from light. We have discussed in the beginning, in the definition you have seen, light also adds to the rancidity. So while we are packing the food, so at that time we have to make sure that it should be protected from light, and by following these things we can protect the substances from being rancid and make it fit for our consumption. So students, with this I am ending my chapter. I hope you have understood it. Okay, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.